Hey guys, so it is time for the Best of Beauty 2015. I am so excited for this video. It's one of my favorites every year in January to get ahead and film. I don't know, it's just so fun like when I go through my makeup collection to pull for this video and I think about the products that I use almost every time I do my makeup or that I have just truly loved. I don't know, it's very easy for me to pick what I wanted to share with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy this. This may be a long video, so you may want to grab a drink and a snack. So I'm gonna go through this in the order that I would put the things on my face. So I'm starting with my face and I'm starting with face primers. If you guys have watched me all year, these three primers should be no surprise because I always use either one of these. In the summer or when my skin is more oily, I use the Hourglass Mineral Veil. This is the best for oil control in my opinion. Also, when I was a bigger girl before I lost the weight and I used to be very, very oily, this was the only thing that let my makeup stay. In the winter, when my skin is more dry or flaky, or if I get a pimple and I need to use tea tree oil, I also use the Hourglass No. 28 Primer Serum. You can also use this as a nighttime treatment too because it is kind of an oil, but if you have dry skin, this will let your skin glow, but it will also let any foundation go on top without caking up or looking cakey or flaky or anything like that. And then last but not least, this was a newer one that I tried this year. The other two have been tried and tested for years for me. I have been loving this BECCA Backlit Priming Filter. I have been using pretty much this one for the past few months. It has a creamy texture, but it also has a pearlescent finish, so it gives your skin a glow without being oily or too dramatic. It just adds nice luminosity to your skin. It just makes your skin look very natural and healthy and fills in pores really, really nicely. So in the winter, I have been going back and forth between this and the No. 28 Primer Serum depending on my needs. My top foundation pick is clearly the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. This, since it came out I think in July or just before July and June, has been my baby. I have loved, loved, loved this. When I was tan, I mixed a few darker shades, and now that I'm paler in the winter, I am mixing the shades Golden and Sand. I love this foundation because it is almost hydrating. I do think it has moisturizing, hydrating properties, but it doesn't leave your skin shiny or dewy or oily. It just gives a really nice kind of natural satin finish, which I truly love in a foundation, so I can add my shine myself. I also think the coverage for this is actually really, really good. This can be a full coverage foundation, definitely medium to full, but although you get great coverage, it still looks natural. It doesn't seep into any fine lines. I love it. So the only thing that is the downside about this foundation is all the time I always have to mix two shades. There isn't a perfect shade for me that I can just buy one. Okay, next up, let's talk concealer. I love the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer for I think the last 2 years, but this year the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer came out and I have been obsessed with it ever since it came out, and this is definitely my #1 concealer pick. I have it in the shade Light Warm, which I mainly use, well, I only use for under my eyes just because it's so light, because I like that highlighted effect. It also keeps the under eye very hydrated and it never looks dry or creases or ends up looking crepey under there, which every other concealer pretty much, depending on my skin at the time, can do. Continuing on with face, I'm going to talk about contouring products next because I love to contour. I have a really round face, so you guys notice in any tutorial that I've done, I always contour, and I usually like to go in with a cream contour followed by powder. And the cream contour palette that I have used all through this year is the Laura Mercier Flawless Contour Palette. I chose this one because I love that there's a more cooler tone shade right here, which is what a contour should be. It's like a cool tone shadow to hollow you out. I usually mix all three shades all around my forehead, all of the contour shades, and then I buff them out with a beauty blender. And then to set it, of course, I always use my Kat Von D Shade and Light. This has been my favorite powder contour palette of the year. I didn't bother getting any more kind of contour kit after I purchased this one either, just because this fits all my needs. I just feel like my contour has never looked better than since I've been using these two products. So these are my loyal ride and dies, and I highly, highly, highly recommend that you pick them up. So my favorite eyeshadows have been this in this Z palette right here, and these are basically all my Anastasia Beverly Hills shadows and my two Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadows on the bottom here. I don't know if I've reached for this palette just because I love all the shades, because clearly I created it. Her mattes are truly the standouts because I use one of these mattes almost in any makeup look because they aren't choppy, they're really creamy, but they blend really, really nicely. And then these two Makeup Geek shadows, I mean, let me just swatch them for you because, I mean, that's enough said, right? I mean, they're so beautiful. Every time I see them, I just get excited. So those are the obvious eyeshadows, but onto a little less obvious. This BECCA Ombre Rouge eyeshadow palette. This is something that I discovered this summer and I have used a ton. If you guys are working women, which I know some of you guys are who watch this and work in an office environment, Get this palette, don't even think about it. I just find I can give myself a nice daytime appropriate smoky eye that just makes the most of my natural features and makes me look like the best version of me without looking like I'm wearing too much makeup. And so I've loved to wear this to work, but then I've also loved to wear it like on the weekends or for filming or when I can't be bothered to do a whole eyeshadow look. Just adding a few of these to the crease really makes the hugest difference, and so this has become a big part of actually my everyday makeup routines. Can we talk about ColourPop eyeliners really quickly while we're talking about eyes? Really, Amy? ColourPop eyeliners have been my favorite eyeliners, hands down, in 2015. These eyeliners are $5 a piece, and they are so creamy and so pigmented. They glide on the waterline so easily. They are some of my favorite pencil eyeliners that I own. I actually prefer them to the Marc Jacobs black eyeliner that I bought last year. That I was trying to find something that stayed on my waterline, and these stay on my waterline better than my $30 eyeliners. So I have been obsessed. Moving on to blush, which is another favorite product of mine. I just am obsessed with blush. I'm a blush hoe. I have loved the Too Faced Love Flush blushes. This one is one of my favorites, and this is Justified My Love because I think it is the most unique to my collection. This one is a blue toned baby pink shade, and this is what made me really enjoy baby pinks on my skin tone. This one is an oldie but a goodie, and I think I spoke about this in my favorites video a few months ago. This is MAC Gentle Mineralized Blush. It comes in all new packaging now because mine is super old. I mean, I shouldn't even admit that to you, but whatever. If you guys are scared of doing a plum blush because you think it's going to give you that bruised cheek look, or it's really easy to overdo because it's pigmented, this is still very pigmented. It has a nice sheen to it, but you can never really overdo it because it's that super soft look. It has a softness to it because it isn't too plum or too pink. So again, I highly recommend this one. And then I have also been obsessed with BECCA Flowerchild, and a subscriber actually recommended this blush to me, but I forget who you are, so thank you girl so much because I have been obsessed. This is like me in a blush. It's a coral, it's got your equal pink and peach, and it's got a little bit of shimmer for a sheen, and it just looks so healthy and useful and glowing on the cheek. It just, every time I see myself in a picture or a video with this, I really love how my blush looks. BECCA, I would like to say, is kind of like foolproof makeup. You can never really go wrong with it. So I truly have appreciated their brand so much in 2015, and I am a huge fan of them. Now we're going to talk about highlighters. My first favorite is this Bobbi Brown one in the shade Beige. This is one of their Shimmerbrick compacts. Beige is a neutral toned highlighter, so it's not too warm, but it's not a cool tone either. It's just the perfect down the middle beige. And this is the highlighter that I have on my cheekbones today. I hope you can see it. Next, of course, I have been loving the BECCA Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed. I have yet to try the liquid version of these, but the pressed I have in every single shade that was ever created, and these are probably the best highlighters on the market. Like if I were to send someone to Sephora to pick out a highlighter, I would say you have to go to BECCA. I think they are their standout products. I would probably say that Opal is the most universal shade out of all of them that I'm going to show you because I have seen this look good on literally every single skin tone. I also have all three of the newer BECCA shades that came out this year, but I have them in single form. I just wanted to show you guys like this. And then I also have this palette here, which the first three shades are Moonstone, Rose Gold, and Topaz highlighters. You cannot go wrong with any BECCA highlighters. They are the softest powders that you have on the market, and they're just really great. Now we are moving on to probably what has been my favorite makeup category of 2015. This year has been the year of lips for me, and I started using lip liner late in 2014. It just makes my lips so much more symmetrical and defined. So my favorite lip liners are the MAC lip liners. I love them. I think they come in the widest variety of colors. I have Whirl, which is a nice brown pink shade. It's more on the brown side. I have Soar, which is a pink tone brown again, but it is pinker than Whirl. Whirl has more brown in it, whereas Soar has more pink. I also have Spice, which is basically a pink tone cinnamon color, which I have lined my lips with today. Spice is kind of like if Soar and Whirl had a baby, you would get Spice. And then I also have Edge to Edge, and this is a blue tone pink. I love this for transforming colors to being more pinky, and I love it with any of my pink tone lipsticks. It's a very beautiful and unique shade, I would say. And now we talk about lipsticks. Brace yourselves, people. Let's start with lip glosses because there are only two. My two favorite lip glosses this year have been Hourglass Canvas. This is my favorite lip gloss that lives in my handbag. It is super pigmented. The formula is nice. It's not too tacky. It smells like vanilla, but it is the most beautiful rose shade, and it looks good with makeup, without makeup. It just looks good all the time. And a close second has been Anastasia Beverly Hills Vintage Lip Gloss. It's the more mauve sister, I would say, but they are very similar. And then moving on to the more liquidy lipstick type things, this Too Faced Melted Liquefied Longwear Lipstick in Melted Chihuahua. until I jumped on the liquid lipstick bandwagon, and I jumped on and like left the station and never looked back. This was my baby. It actually reminds me a little bit of Kat Von D liquid lipstick in Lolita, but in melted liquid lipstick form. They never dry to a full matte, but they are actually long wearing. So I like these because they are really comfortable to wear because they never dry out your lips. And next are all my liquid lipstick favorites. Like, this was probably the hardest for me to narrow down. They have been pretty much all that I have worn. I have just loved them. The only negative that I can say is that some formulas can be drying and it can look a little bit more overdone. I feel like anytime I put on a liquid lipstick as opposed to a gloss, it kind of just makes it look like I'm wearing more makeup than I am. So sometimes if I'm not wearing eye makeup, it can make me look more zhuzhed. I don't know. Amy, shut up. So I've obviously been loving Kat Von D Lolita liquid lipstick. The Kat Von D liquid lipstick formula is actually one of my favorite liquid lipstick formulas. They're the perfect combination of a long-lasting but non-drying liquid lipstick, and this shade is iconic. Another one that I don't find too drying that I mentioned in my last favorites video are the Ofra liquid lipsticks, and my favorite color has been Pasadena. These can stay the longest on my lips without my lips starting to feel dry or annoying and me wanting to remove the liquid lipstick. I can wear this all day and not think about it. The only downside to the Ofra liquid lipsticks is they probably wear off a little quicker than some of the more drying ones because, of course, they're not just sucking all the life out of your lips, but it's a small price to pay for the comfort because some, you guys know what I mean, it can just be like, ugh. I've also been obsessed with the ColourPop Ultra Matte liquid lipsticks that they launched this year. These definitely do not break the bank, but they have actually ended up being some of my favorite liquid lipsticks on the market. They are a little bit more drying if you don't exfoliate your lips after a while, but these last through everything. Like, you can eat, drink. I ate buttery, greasy popcorn with these on my lips, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna look like a nightmare. Like, I've smeared all over my face when I leave, but this was on my lips. It was like bulletproof. It was still all there. It didn't look bad at all. My favorite colors, the ones that I bought to show you, are Beeper. This is a nice warm taupe shade. I also love More Better. This is a gorgeous deep raspberry color. And then Clueless, which is a blue toned pink shade. It's very, very feminine and very girly, and I don't have anything like this in my collection. Anastasia, Beverly Hills, Veronica. I mean, what can I say? When this color came out and I put this on my lips, like, I transformed into a new person. I was brand new and feeling myself. If you guys like that kind of shade like Lolita, I even kind of prefer this one to Lolita. So this is probably my all-time favorite. I also have really been enjoying this Jeffree Star Androgyny liquid lipstick. This, you'd think it's just like that typical mauve color, but it is almost more of a plum mauve with a hint of brown, especially on my skin tone and lips too. When I wear it, the plum really shows. This one, again, is a great formula. The Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks are bulletproof like the ColourPop ones. I find the formula very similar. I've also been obsessed with colored Raine Cherry Blossom. This is like a blood blue tone red. It's a deeper, very sexy, very sophisticated red. It's like another one of those colors that has you like, damn girl. Definitely my favorite red lip shade out of any formula liquid lipstick or bullet lipstick that I have ever tried. And then last but not least, Dose of Colors Truffle. This is my favorite nude liquid lipstick. It's a perfect mid-tone nude. It's a great everyday color. It reminds me a lot of Spice liquid lipstick, but a little bit lighter and peachier. And so I just really, really like the way this looks on. It's another one of those colors that anytime I see myself in a picture or something and I've been wearing it, I'm like, yeah girl, like that's a good lipstick for you. It's definitely a great one if you have a skin tone like mine. Okay guys, so that is the end of my Best of Beauty 2015. I have like cotton mouth. My mouth is so dry right now. I can't even articulate anymore. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it wasn't too long for you. Please let me know what your favorite products in 2015 or just your favorite products right now are, because I get some of the best recommendations from you guys. So I love hearing your favorites, and I just think it's part of the fun to share. That's why I love to do favorites videos. So I will keep this outro short and sweet, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!